Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Last night, Nebraska baseball defeated Purdue 6-2 in an elimination game in the Big Ten tournament. Purdue got a run in the bottom of the first, but the Huskers responded with 4 runs in the top of the second, and it all started thanks to a 12-pitch walk from Gabe Swanson. Nebraska head coach Will Bolt said that he thought that was a big point in the game.
To me, that embodied what the mindset was from the group tonight, was that at bat, and with each growing pitch, you could hear the crowd getting behind it, but more importantly, our dugout was competing with him. He could feel it, and then he just let out a pretty big sign of emotion that Gabe doesn't normally put out there for a walk, and he knew that was a big moment in the game. It was a big response after they hit the 2-out home run, and that led to the 4-run inning for us.
The Huskers will play the loser of the Indiana and Ohio State game that is currently in action. Indiana leads 14-7 in the 9th. In other Husker news, the track and field teams are in action at the NCAA West preliminary round in Fayetteville. The men punched 3 tickets to the NCAA championships in Eugene, Oregon last night. Kevin Schubert won the men's shot put to secure his spot, and then Dash Sermon and Tyler Brown both advanced to the championships in the javelin, as Sermon claimed 4th place and Brown finished 8th. The women are currently competing. Finally, there is one NBA playoff game tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics host the Pacers. Boston leads that series 1-0, scheduled for a 7 p.m. tip-off there. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here's the pitch. Overbeek swinging away, hammers one to center. Kornblum going back, won't get there. It's off the base of the wall. Silva motoring around third, getting the green light. Joshua Overbeek introduces himself to the Big Ten tournament with an RBI double off the center field wall, and it's 3-1 Nebraska.
Swanson puts a drive into one to left field. Bolton Sr. going back. Bolton's going to look up, and it is gone. A solo home run for Gabe Swanson, and it's 5-2. Nebraska. 2 strikes. Sears ready the pitch. Called strike 3. Got him. That's 10 straight retired by Brett Sears and back-to-back Ks to end the 6th inning.
The 0-1 pitch. Karen swings and hits a breaking ball well to left field. Bolton back to the track, to the wall. That ball's out of here. Josh Karen, a solo shot to left field. And Nebraska gets a big insurance tally here in the 9th. Junior righty Drew Christo comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! And he struck him out. And the Huskers' pulse in this Big Ten tournament is still beating on the heels of 6 brilliant innings from the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, Brett Sears. Drew Christo finishes it, and the Huskers move on. They win it tonight, a final of 6-2.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome to our Thursday show here for a full 2 hours coming your way tonight. So glad that you are going to take a little bit of time to spend some Husker time with us here as we go over some of the day's headlines. And no baseball today. The Huskers' run at the tournament is not over because they were survived last night, as Camden told you in the ticker, a 6-2 win. A pretty impressive victory by Nebraska. I mean, they held Purdue to 2 hits. Brett Sears said after the game he had nothing, but yet battled his way through 6 innings, struck out 9 batters, and Nebraska hit the ball a lot. 12 hits, left a bunch of guys on base. It really could have been a big lopsided score, but I think that was a really nice response after a bad performance the night before.
Yeah, absolutely, and I honestly think that was one of the more impressive performances from Brett Sears because of the way he responded after giving up the home run and locking in and finding a way, because that was one thing that when I did Coach Bolt's show a couple of weeks ago, he had said that the mentality part of it and not trying to be perfect and understanding that, hey, guys are going to get a hit and that's okay when they do. But so I thought that was a really good thing to see from him, that he gives up the home run and then he gets right back to work and then was pretty dominant. And I guess, despite not having his stuff last night.
Purdue, one of the better offensive teams in the league, and 2 hits between what Brett did and then Drew Christo was fantastic for the last 3 innings. So the Huskers don't play today. They'll play at 2 tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be a rematch with the Buckeyes. They're getting beat right now by Indiana in the top of the 9th inning. So it's going to be Nebraska and Ohio State tomorrow to try to stay alive. It'll be an elimination game tomorrow. Only 2 games in Omaha tomorrow. The Nebraska game at 2 with 1:30 pregame, then a game at 6 that will also be an elimination game. And so we'll be down to 4 teams by the end of the day tomorrow.
When can Christo go again, do you think?
He threw 27 pitches last night. Probably wouldn't pitch tomorrow, but Saturday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just, this time a year and knowing that the Huskers are in, too, I also worry, too, about a long run in the tournament and being able to preserve those arms to be able to go do something in the regional next week. Just, it'd be one thing. I know there are some teams fighting to still get in, but for the Huskers, I would rather be set up for next week than try to go through a run in this tournament. I don't know. That's my preference.
No, I agree. And it's one of those kind of weird things about this is like, yeah, you want to win the tournament because you want to win a banner.
Yeah.
But do you want it? At what cost do you give up by doing it? Do you hurt your chance in the NCAA tournament? And, I know some people say, well, this isn't a team that can win a regional. I beg to differ. I think when you can run out Brett and Mason McConaughey, you've got a chance to go win a regional in a week.
I think so, too. For me, too, I don't know what I lost my train of thought. I was going to tell you something else, but I feel like, though, with those 2 1-2 punches, and then if you can preserve some guys and then figure out a way, I think they absolutely could compete with just about anybody. I mean, they've done it all year. We've seen Brett Sears shut down some really good teams all throughout the season. He's been consistent from the start.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock, again, they're in the 9th inning, bottom of the 9th, unless a huge Buckeye rally. It will be Ohio State opposite Nebraska tomorrow. And Will Bolt did say after the game that Mason McConaughey will get the ball tomorrow for Nebraska.
I remember what I was going to say. Maybe you could make a run through it if you don't use the guys that you're going to throw in regional. So you maybe give some guys some opportunity that have struggled or have maybe fallen off a little bit, or maybe some young guys, let them pitch in that atmosphere. And then if they go and compete well, maybe you get them some confidence moving into the regional. Maybe you get them some good experience to build off of going into next season. But I don't know if I would want to use the arms that you're going to rely on next week.
Yeah.
But if you can get it done with the other guys that give them an opportunity and they go get it done, go win a title. But I don't know. Maybe if you're playing on Sunday, too, I would change my mind. But it's a long road to get there.
They have to win 3 more games to get to Sunday.
Yeah.
And no more losses. So that's a big hill to climb. It's doable. Teams have done it in the past, but it is a big climb. That's what happens. And I think Will Bolt mentioned this in the cut that Cam did add. You can only stumble once in a tournament. We've already had the one stumble, so now your margin for error is really tiny.
So there's obviously a big to-do with the Illinois-Iowa game.
Wow.
And the way that it ended with the interference call. But what does Illinois, I saw they were 44?
They were 45 going into today.
What do they need? They won the regular season, and they're on the bubble. They're on the outside looking in, probably.
If they'd have lost today, I don't know that I would have liked their chances to get in.
Wow. So, I saw a lot of Iowa conspiracy theorists saying that they told the umps, you got to let Illinois win so that they can get another team in.
I'll be honest, I don't understand the call. And there's a call in the bottom of the 10th inning, folks, an interference call on a slide at second base that cost the Hawkeyes 2 outs and no run. They reviewed it and said it, and they upheld the review. But I'm not clear on what the call was. They said they got it right. Even Jeff Lisey, who was on the TV call today for BTN, goes, I don't get this at all. Looks like he slid through the base. Strange call. Iowa season is now over.
I saw a release that said that his arms, legs, and trunk have to be in a straight line between the bases, and his body, he was not in a straight line. But I don't.
Looked to me like he did. So
that was to me as far away from interfering.
Crazy.
And honestly, it looked like he was trying not to cause that interference.
Coach Heller, Iowa's coach, immediately ejected. I would have been as well. I think any coach probably would have said, that's it, I'm done. So Iowa, the second team sent home. So Purdue gone, Iowa gone. 2 more teams eliminated tomorrow. Up in Omaha, I would hope you'd have a great crowd. 2 o'clock, most schools are now done for the school year. You're kind of starting the holiday weekend. So hopefully a big crowd at Charles Schwab Field tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Well, last night Jessica had a terrific interview with Troy Dannen, Nebraska's athletic director. Yesterday the news came out that Nebraska will have a home Friday night football game against Illinois in September. It'll be the first Monday through Friday home football game since 2001 for Nebraska. I know this is a hot button issue, but, and as I thought Troy did a great job with it, when you're getting the kind of dollars we're getting now from these TV contracts, you have to play along a little bit. And to me, Jessica, the biggest thing is this isn't FS1. This isn't BTN. This is Big Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the only game in town. I think it'll be a huge exposure. I get all the high school thing. I love high school football, but I think we're kind of in a different era now.
Well, and if you're Fox, you're looking at this as an opportunity to really capitalize on, I mean, Friday night, there was a time where Thursday night football, Friday night football was huge for ESPN.
Yep.
And I think they're looking at that, hey, we have an opportunity here. And so they're making a huge push for their Friday night football coverage. And 12 of the 18 teams are going to be featured on that Friday night college football. Friday, what was it officially titled? I don't even remember. But 12 of the 18 teams are going to be on there, and some of them more than once, you know. So I know some of those West Coast schools are going to be on there multiple times playing that Friday night game. And it is unfortunate that it competes with high school football here, but you know, it's part of the deal that you sign on for it to bring in all this revenue, and it's a huge push for Fox, and they're making a big deal. They're going to put a lot of efforts into that, and we've seen what happened when they did that with the big noon kickoff, and now how big it is. And so, you know, for them to be saying, hey, we're going to go all in, we're going to put a lot of efforts and resources towards putting a really good, not just a, hey, here's a game just to fill the airways, but to put a good, maybe a good game on those Friday nights, I think, you know, and gives you something to watch on Friday nights, too.
September 20th is the Husker game with Illinois. It's Fox College Football Friday. That's what they're going to call it moving forward. The one that kind of, I'm like, ooh, Rutgers is going to go play at USC with a late kickoff. And, man, you talk about student athletes. They're going to get home at like 9 in the morning after they fly clear cross country after that game.
I wonder if they just, like, spend the night and fly back.
Might have to, right?
At 11 p.m. kickoff right for East Coast, on the East Coast. So 11 p.m.
So their bodies, it's going to be way after midnight when the game ends.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's a little odd.
And there's several 9 p.m. kickoffs I saw, some 8 p.m.s.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I guess that's also where you're at, though, with the conference. It stretches from coast to coast because you're also saying, hey, well, those West Coast teams are going, when they go to Rutgers and having to play at 11 a.m., their bodies are at 9 a.m. So you're give and take there with that, and that's, again, part of when you bring on these teams that are so far apart of what you're going to have to deal with.
Well, you mentioned that several teams, Washington's going to make 2 appearances on the Friday deal. Oregon's going to make 2. UCLA makes 2. SC only makes the one we just referenced with Rutgers. But 3 of the 4 new teams coming into the league are going to make multiple appearances on the College Football Friday on Fox.
And I would imagine some of them were probably more okay with it than
probably.
Like some of those West Coast schools would rather have that Friday night, and some of them too. That might be their, like Rutgers. How many national televised audiences is Rutgers going to play in front of?
And they're on 2.
They're on 2. They're on 2 Friday night games.
Yeah.
So there's 2 for them. But you know, I feel like also, and here's another option too, to be able to navigate where those West Coast schools are not always having to play on the East Coast time.
Right. Yeah. Mike on our text line said, honestly, I'm okay with the Friday game. If the super conferences happen like they're talking, you won't have enough TV slots for all the teams, so you'll have to filter them throughout the week. Now, I've heard some people today say, well, you don't see Ohio State on this thing. You don't see Michigan. Well, folks, we got to take a little bit of a step back and be realistic here. We're not in their ilk right now. We have not played good enough football the last 10 years that we're a top 5 program. So we need to get back to that level, and then maybe we're not part of these Friday games moving forward. But that's where we are right now, and I think you have to kind of embrace it.
I also think, too, though, Fox knows that they're going to get a TV audience for Nebraska.
True.
No matter when they play. They're going to know that they're going to get good ratings, and so they're, of course, going to want to push for Nebraska to be in that slot. But I thought, and when Troy had talked about it, the volleyball day in Nebraska and the things that they did. They had the shuttles. They did a lot of things to be able to accommodate the fans that were coming in and not having the parking. And so I think they probably learned a lot, and they'll try to figure out the best ways to move forward with that. I don't know what you do with tailgating, but
right. I think you'll have to shut down the campus lots for school at noon.
Yeah.
And then you can come in and tailgate during the afternoon.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
But, primetime game at night, another game under the lights.
Fun.
Because it's just with the way that it is with the Big Noon and the CBS, there's just not a lot of opportunities to play at night. And this stadium is just unreal at night.
It's electric.
And, we were talking, there's just have not been very many night games here.
Nope, not recently.
Since I've been here. So I'm excited that there's going to be another, because the guys, a lot of them, you can just tell they feed off of it. So I'm excited for the electric atmosphere at night.
Well, we're going to replay some of in Jessica's interview with Troy coming up in hour number 2. Coming up here in a few minutes, Lance Harvell, Husker assistant baseball coach, will join us, get his thoughts about the win last night. What did the Huskers do today with their off day? And then get ready for their matchup tomorrow. It's still not over yet. Bottom of the ninth. Indiana needs one more out to move on in the winners bracket of that thing. So Lance coming up here in a couple of minutes, and a little bit of the Kicking Back with the Cooks podcast. It came out a couple of weeks ago. John gets into talking about attending concerts. You're going to want to hear some of that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we want your input throughout the program tonight. 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Husker fans, go check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks, pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer, partner of Husker Athletics, and is your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. We're back to talk some baseball with Lance Harvell next.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Experience the thrill of the open road at Woodhouse Hyundai. Right now, lease the 2024 Hyundai Elantra SEL for $299 a month for 36 months with $0 down. Plus, when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit woodhousehyundai.com today. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number H240452. Offer expires June 3rd, 2024. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Experience personalized service and exceptional deals at Woodhouse Lincoln. With cutting-edge technology and incredible design, Woodhouse Lincoln is the place to find your next luxury vehicle. Going on now, receive 2.9% APR for 72 months on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Or save up to $2,000 off MSRP with retail customer cash on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator. With approved credit, $299 dock fee due at signing. Offer expires July 8, 2024. See dealer for details.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Huskers bounced back in a big way last night, beating Purdue 6-2 to stay alive in the Big Ten tournament up in Omaha. Delighted to be joined now by Husker assistant coach Lance Harvell. Congratulations on the win. That was a nice response by the Huskers last night.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sharpie. Good to hear your voice. And yeah, last night was good. It was a lot of fun. You know, obviously get back on the right track, but you know, like we told the guys after the game, that was a grown man game right there. You know, after obviously a disappointing game against Ohio State in every just about every shape and form and way that you could look at it, just disappointing. You know, there's a lot of teams that probably would have, you know, just kind of closed shop, folded up the tent and headed home and not come out and fight the way our guys did. And so that was the message, you know, for 24 hours leading up to that game and right before the game and throughout the game and after the game. It was just come out and fight for what you want, fight for each other and play hard. And that's what we did. And the results kind of took care of themselves. So it was, that was a big game in a lot of respects, just because of that very aspect. Just you got the chance to put our toughness on display, and it showed.
Lance, how was the approach different, or was it different from the game before?
Well, we just challenged them to. We didn't have much of a sense of urgency against Ohio State. I mean, the game plan, to be honest, doesn't really change that much from game to game.
Yeah.
Obviously, different guys that you're going to see on the mound do different things, and so there's some things that you kind of tweak and adjust going into it. But I mean, ultimately, it's the same. Every guy's best pitch is a fastball, and we go into the game trying to neutralize the fastball and take that pitch away. And the challenge every game is how quick can we get the guy off of his fastball and get him to try to beat us, with his second or third or fourth best pitch. And so that's the game plan going into every one. And that Ohio State game, we didn't have that sense of urgency to go get after the fastball. And it was kind of, they did. They like watching their lineup and those guys swinging the bat. I mean, they were aggressive, and you tip your cap to them because they did exactly to us what we were trying to do to them. And, and so going into the game last night, that was just the challenge with the guys. And again, the consistent message and what it's been all year long is get after the fastball. Like we've got to get on time to it. And whether we hit it hard or not, whether we get a hit or not, if it's a foul ball, if it's a swing and miss, whatever it is, we're moving with intent and with aggression on that pitch. And we did a better job of that last night, and it showed up. Got some big hits, and even responded after they scored in the first with the home run, and came back and responded with the 4 runs of our own and got some big hits in there, and so it was good. And hitting is contagious. And if you've done this long enough and watched baseball or been involved with it long enough, you've been on both sides of it. And so far in this tournament, the 2 games, that's kind of how it's been for us. It didn't seem like Ohio State could do anything wrong the other night, and we had our fair share of them last night. And it just gets contagious sometimes. It's crazy how the game works, but we just did a better job of that, just kind of controlling the game, through being aggressive.
Visiting with Husker assistant coach Lance Harvell here on Sports on Nebraska, enjoying an off day today. You mentioned the 4-run second inning. How pivotal to the inning was Gabe's leadoff bat with the 12-pitch at bat to work the walk? And then talk about what you're seeing from him now, because it looks like he's barreling up about every time he steps to the plate. Yeah,
we're starting to see the Gabe Swanson that we all saw for the entire year last year, and he's kind of gone through his ups and downs a little bit this year, and he's been grinding, and but to his credit, again, just he's continued to work and continued to stay invested in what we're doing, and he is a team guy through and through, and now he's starting to get on the barrel and get some of those hits and be that Gabe Swanson, that we all know and love. But that at bat was huge. I mean, you cannot. I mean, you could almost make the argument that the game, not knowing it at the time because it was the second inning, but the game kind of hinged right there. You look back on it and how big of an at bat that was. That he just kept battling, and then got the walk and not just kind of okay, ball 4. Let me take my batting gloves off and I'll drop my bat and my Evo shield and jog to first. But the emotion coming out of him and the way that he turned, to our dugout and showed that emotion, and it got our dugout fired up. It got the crowd fired up. It was big. And those, baseball in general, but postseason baseball for sure. The other team feels that, and we've got the home field advantage here, in this tournament, and having the crowd behind you, it energizes you, and you get the adrenaline going a little bit, and it kind of elevates that game. And the other team, it works the opposite for them. Maybe that heart rate starts to go up a little bit, and they felt that. And our guys, it was like we just needed that one little crack in the dam before the floodgates kind of opened up a little bit, and it did that inning.
Coach, Josh Caron's been such a cornerstone guy for this team all year long. He doesn't get any Big Ten honors earlier in the week. It looks like he's trying to send a message. It looks like he has really put together some good at-bats, and he obviously plays great defense behind the plate every game.
Yeah, he has, and he does so much. I mean, for what he does on the field that everybody sees and how good he's been, all year long for us. He's even better behind the scenes and just what people don't see. And that's where his kind of maturity as a player has really shown through this year. Is he's really made that jump in terms of his leadership and by nature of the position that he plays, being our starting catcher, it kind of goes along with that. But then being that guy in the middle of the lineup that is producing runs for you and hitting big home runs and all that. And I think he'd probably be the first to tell you he'd much rather have a Big Ten championship than have a all Big Ten award or anything like that. But yeah, his play so far is kind of, he might have a little chip on his shoulder, and it's kind of funny. The guy we were just talking about too, it happened to Gabe Swanson, last year as well, kind of got a little snub there at the end of the year after hitting 18 home runs. Yeah, I mean, if you want to put a chip on that guy's shoulder, I don't mind that one bit. And he's backed it up. To his credit, he has talked the talk and he has walked the walk.
I know you guys wouldn't trade him for anybody. Again, visit Lance Harvell here on Sports Nightly. I want to ask you about Case Sanderson, Lance. I mean, we had Bryce and Max a year ago that were just elite college hitters. I think you might have another one. This kid just looks special. Looks like he can use all fields. Your thoughts about Case and what he's doing now at such a young age? Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, the guy, he was born to hit a baseball. I mean, he can just flat out hit. And he's the guy. It's crazy that, he's just a freshman. I forget it sometimes. But it does it goes back to thinking about when, Max and Bryce were freshmen, and you just kind of think like, oh man, we just get this guy to the plate. Let's work this inning, or, try to do this or that to create, a scoring opportunity when this guy's at the plate. And you think about doing that for a freshman, setting up an inning for a freshman to step in there. That's a good feeling, and it's pretty remarkable, something that's not lost on us. And for him and a lot of guys, a lot of the best players I've ever been around have that understanding of, the game doesn't know or care how old you are. It just rewards, hard work and dedication and what you put into it. And that kid works as hard as anybody. And he's done a good job too of aligning himself with the right guys. He's, really early on in the fall and all throughout the year, him and he kind of hitched his wagon to guys like Josh Overbeek and Dylan Carey and Cole Evans and guys like that are just workhorses. And those guys, they get every ounce of their ability because of what they put in and the time that they put in. And Case is no different, and he's done a good job, of that, of really learning from those older guys that have kind of seen it and been through it, and learning what their work habits are, know what it looks like and what it means to be a Division I baseball player and the time demands that it takes. And so what everyone gets to see, out on the field is just a culmination and the result of a lot of hard work and a lot of time put in. And pretty special what he's doing as a freshman. And I'm glad he's on our team, that's for sure, and glad that he's going to be here for at least 2 more years. Yeah, no doubt. I think he's going to be special. Again, Lance Harvell with us here on Sports Nightly. All right, kind of a rare off day in the middle of a tournament. What did the Huskers do today?
So we got up, ate breakfast, and we went over to UNO and worked out. We took some BP, moved around a little bit. The guys got a little kind of mini workout in, probably out there for about an hour and a half, something like that. And just because you're playing in a conference tournament doesn't mean that the work stops. I came back to Lincoln today. I'm here now. Got some work done, getting to see the family and the kiddos a little bit. And then I'll head back to Omaha here in about a couple hours and get ready for I've had the Indiana Ohio State game on, and we'll see who we got for tomorrow and start prepping for them.
How How comforting is it when you know you've got Brett Sears on the mound last night, and I think now the team kind of has the same feeling when Mason McConaughey steps on the hill, don't they? They feel like, all right, we got a great chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a very comforting feeling, as you said, and you feel like you got two aces on the mound, and you don't feel like you're going to be in the game, from at least from an offensive standpoint, and what that does for the hitters, kind of taking some pressure, off of them, and just knowing that those guys really, they're only going to give up a handful of runs at the most, and so you don't feel like you necessarily have to go out there and score 20 runs to go win a game. Not that we're not trying to do that anyway, but it's a good feeling knowing that you got guys that are just going to go compete, and Sears last night was unbelievable, as he's been all year, obviously, and looking forward to getting to watch Mac tomorrow night. And the true mark of an ace of the staff and a guy on the mound for me is when you don't have your best stuff, can you still go get guys out? Can you still find a way to put your team in a position to win? And Sears did that last night. I mean, it was. I hope it's not lost on people how incredible his outing was last night, because, and by his own admission, he really didn't have much working last night. For whatever reason, he just didn't have his stuff. But he still found ways to he sort of reinvented himself a little bit in the course of the game, because he knew, okay, I don't have my breaking ball, I don't have my changeup, it's fastball, slider, but I'm going to turn my fastball into three different pitches. I'm going to throw this one on this side of the plate, and I'm going to throw this one that runs in on this side of the plate, and I'm going to throw the ball up, I'm just going to start locating, and it did. His fastball played like three different pitches last night to go along with his slider, and so he was able to be effective, and when he didn't have his best stuff, holding a pretty good Purdue lineup to just 2 runs and 2 hits, I think, something like that. That was
pretty special. The staff had to really be encouraged too, Lance. Last thing for you, with what they saw from Drew Christo. I mean, he was almost unhittable in his outing.
Yeah, he was really good, and for him too. I mean, just coming in that spot, he's been in that spot before, and just the confidence he has right now. And again, just another guy that couldn't be more about the team, and all he wants, is to help this team and do whatever it takes. And if that means starting, great. If that means long relief, great. If that means going and getting, 9 outs, then great. And he did that. He got 9 outs on 27 pitches, I think, something like that. So not just being good and having good stuff, but on attack from the second he towed the rubber, and just coming right at him with good stuff. And that's, if you can have that, whether it's 3 outs or 9 outs or whatever, if he's got to start in a game somewhere, excuse me, down the road, it is very encouraging, for us, and a confidence builder, kind of like we were talking about with Sears and McConaughey. When guys like that, when they're on attack, what that does for your ball club, what it does for your defense, what it does for your hitters. It's that complementary style of baseball that we've played really well, for most of the year.
Well, win 35 was special. Let's keep this thing rolling. Good luck tomorrow. Get a good night's sleep tonight.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, Sharpie.
There he is, Lance Harvell, Husker assistant coach, with us here on Sports Alley, joining us on our Woodhouse Auto family. They are your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Go visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, phone lines, text lines, back open, 402-413-2400. Jessica will rejoin me next.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Experience a redefined car buying experience with Woodhouse Mazda. Visit the Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers and explore our exceptional lineup, like the versatile and capable Mazda CX-50 or the sleek and modern Mazda CX-30. Right now, receive 0% APR for 36 months or $1,500 off MSRP on the full lineup of 2024 Mazda CX-50s. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra when financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires May 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Woodhouse Nissan is an easy choice when shopping for your next vehicle. Right now, lease the 2024 Nissan Rogue SV for $296 per month for 36 months. Serving the Metro for over 20 years. This is Woodhouse Nissan. Lease for 36 months, 5,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. $3,299 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Discounted price based on sale price of $32,433. VIN number RW430564. Offer expires May 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Thursday night. Thanks to Lance Harvell for spending some time with us. How about that? He went to the workout in Omaha today with the team. Then he drove back to Lincoln, did some work in the office. Going to run home, see the family, and then drive back up to Omaha tonight. That's the benefit of having the tournament that close.
Yeah, it really is, because you still can come back and get some stuff done that you need to get done.
Yeah, kind of cool. We've got some softball super regional action on tonight. Oklahoma, Florida State playing. Boy, the tournament on the softball side, really chalky. 14 of the 16 national seeds won last week. So you only have 2 unseeded teams that made it to the super regional round. But boy, what a great time of year. It's so much fun to watch that high caliber play, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the coming weeks.
I do also worry that the super regionals might be chalky too, but I think we'll see a really competitive Women's College World Series. So I think I think the top 8 are pretty. Maybe we'll see some upsets, but I kind of think they'll probably advance. But then I think it could get wild in Oklahoma City once they all get there. The top 8, there's a lot of teams that could win, and that's what Maddie Burkhart has said from the start of the season. And even Nate chimed in a couple weeks ago how wide open it is for who could win the title once they get there.
I think last week the Big Ten did not do very well. I think it kind of proved what we knew. The Big Ten had some good teams, but not any elite teams this year.
Yeah. Northwestern had advanced the year before, but they had a tough. Where were they?
Texas.
Yes, they had a tough.
They were
draw.
getting out of there.
So tough draw for them. And
Indiana, I think, won a game, but they didn't get out of their regional.
Omaha made it.
How about Omaha?
Tied against Missouri.
Omaha got to the regional final against the Tigers and hung in there. Great job by the Mavs.
That right there shows, because Omaha's got a really, really good pitcher. If you have a dominant pitcher, you are in every single game, no matter what the ranking is next to your team. So
that's exactly right.
That's where, when Jordy Ball gets healthy, that's where there's a lot of talent on the softball team that's coming back. I know they're losing a lot, that they'll have to fill those roles. But when Jordy Ball comes back, it just completely changes the expectations of a team, because when you have a dominant pitcher in softball, it gives you a chance in every single game.
No doubt. Hey, a problem gambling is burning up your money. There's a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. We need to get our final break of the hour in. Back to wrap up hour 1 next.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Thursday night. We begin tomorrow our kind of summer version of greatest shows. We're going to even slip in some games every Friday from now until we probably get to when the camp opens for football in August, where we'll be doing that. So be looking for that tomorrow night here on the program. We'll also have a best of show, and I believe it is going to be a game from this past year on Monday night's Memorial Day. So a little break for the crew on Friday starting tomorrow.
Yes, and always fun to go back. And, one of the nights you were gone, we had a ton of submissions for people's favorite games. And so I think they're going to actually get some football games on the air this summer, too.
Really cool.
So some of the classic football games over the last, which I do believe in our archives we only have since you've been here.
True. That's probably right. Yeah.
But we have some great games over the last 15 years.
We have. Tim in Minnesota said, I really appreciate how Coach Harvell explained what Sears did with his fastball when his other pitches weren't working quite as well. I actually got an education in pitching from an offensive coach. Yeah, that was good. That was a great explanation about how Brett was able to kind of be a one-trick pony in a lot of ways last night. I think that's what really separates a guy from a good pitcher to a great one, is the ability to adapt and find a way to get outs even when you don't have your great stuff. That was a big part of last night's game, was the way Brett was able to get that done last night. Scotty Scheffler, we were talking about this during the break. They had a court date in Louisville today, the PGA golfer who got arrested last week during all that confusion. And I'm surprised they're not dropping the charges. They're moving forward with this thing, even though the officer didn't have his body cam turned on to get footage of this whole thing. I don't know how the Louisville Police Department's come out of this looking any good at all.
And it didn't even look like it was that big of a deal as what it was initially made out to be.
I agree.
Like, it sounded like Scotty drugged the guy down the street, when he was trying to stop him, and it didn't look like that at all. I don't know. And then it didn't seem like it just was that as big of a deal as what it was made out to be when it all unfolded. And, yeah, it's funny because a lot of people digging up some old dirt on that cop that arrested him, and it's pretty funny. It just is what a bad look for the police department.
I agree. I think, you sit there and maybe you fine him, but you make it go away. I just don't know what they hope to gain from this. I think with all the things that they're probably dealing with and other much more serious incidents, why are you pushing this?
Well, and he pulled over right away.
Yeah.
And then, as he said, it was just like a miscommunication thing. So I don't know. Maybe somebody waved him on, or he thought waved him on. It just seemed like it escalated really high, and then you don't know what was said. And again, that is a big no-no. He didn't have his body cam footage turned on.
Yeah.
So we don't know how the interaction actually went down. But Scotty's such a kind, nice, even keel person. I can't imagine that he gave him any attitude, because he's just not wired that way.
I'm told a lot of the other PGA players have in a text chain are making fun of him with his jumpsuit on and all that stuff. So he's got to be a good sport about that. Hey, Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Hour 1 in the books, a little kicking back with the Cooks, and we'll play back some of Jessica's interview with Troy Dannen coming up in hour number 2. And it's Thursday. Cole's Joke coming your way.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. the official foundation company of the Huskers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Last night, Nebraska baseball defeated Purdue 6-2 in an elimination game in the Big Ten tournament. Purdue got a run in the bottom of the first, but the Huskers responded with 4 runs in the top of the second, and it all started thanks to a 12-pitch walk from Gabe Swanson. Nebraska head coach Will Bolt said that he thought that was a big point in the game.
To me, that embodied what the mindset was from the group tonight, was that at bat. And, with each growing pitch, you could hear the crowd getting behind it, but more importantly, our dugout was competing with him. He could feel it. And then he just let out a pretty big a sign of emotion that Gabe doesn't normally put out there for a walk, and he knew that was a big moment in the game. It was a big response after they hit the 2-out home run, and that led to the 4-run inning for us.
The Huskers will play Ohio State after they fell 14-7 earlier today. In other Husker news, the track and field teams are in action at the NCAA West preliminary round in Fayetteville. The men punched 3 tickets to the NCAA championships in Eugene, Oregon last night. Kevin Schubert won the men's shot put to secure his spot, and then Dash Sermon and Tyler Brown both advanced to the championships in the javelin, as Sermon claimed 4th place and Brown finished 8th. The women are currently competing. Finally, there's one NBA playoff game tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics host the Pacers. Boston leads that series 1-0. That game is scheduled to start in just a few minutes. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here's the pitch. Overbeek swinging away, hammers one to center. Kornblum going back, won't get there. It's off the base of the wall. Silva motoring around third, getting the green light. Joshua Overbeek introduces himself to the Big Ten tournament with an RBI double off the center field wall. And it's 3-1 Nebraska.
Swanson puts a drive into one to left field. Bolton Sr. going back. Bolton's got to look up, and it is gone. A solo home run for Gabe Swanson, and it's 5-2. Nebraska. 2 strikes. Sears ready the pitch. Called strike 3. Got him. That's 10 straight retired by Brett Sears and back-to-back Ks to end the 6th inning.
The 0-1 pitch. Karen swings and hits a breaking ball well to left field. Bolton back to the track, to the wall. That ball's out of here. Josh Karen, a solo shot to left field. And Nebraska gets a big insurance tally here in the 9th. Junior righty Drew Christo comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! And he struck him out. And the Huskers' pulse in this Big Ten tournament is still beating on the heels of 6 brilliant innings from the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, Brett Sears. Drew Christo finishes it, and the Huskers move on. They win it tonight, a final of 6-2.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back for our final hour tonight, our final hour of the week, as we'll start our best of series for Fridays during the summer, with the unofficial start of summer being Memorial Weekend. We'll do that tomorrow night here on the program. But a busy hour. We're going to play you a little bit of the latest podcast, Kicking Back with the Cooks. We're going to hear part of Jessica's interview from last night with Husker AD Troy Dannen, and we are all anxiously awaiting the joke of the week. And you're helping him out now.
Well, he's been talking about how he's out of material. So I just let him borrow a joke book. So, okay. And I don't know I was reading, it looked like there was a couple good ones in there, so he can maybe assign the interns to read like a page a day and maybe highlight some good ones. And so he's never going to be run out of material because that joke book is pretty thick, so I don't want to hear that excuse ever again.
Passing it on sounds like something he would probably do. So I don't know how we stumbled into, I think it was 2 nights ago, we stumbled into the topic of hot yoga. And it's kind of been revived tonight because you did hear from Jeremiah that it is something when he was playing that he did do.
Yes. So we were talking about it with Ben, and then because the team did hot yoga.
Yeah.
So I texted him. He didn't text me back till yesterday morning, and he said when he was playing, he did it all the time.
And that makes sense, right?
Yeah, because I think it loosens up, but it is hot. I've done it one time, and it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean.
Thus the term.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so there we go. In the chat room, a bunch of those people say they do it or have done it. They're asking me to try to do it. I think I might break in half if I tried to do that.
I would not make it if I tried to do it now.
No. Hey, also, we want you to be a part of the hour as well. Don't want to forget you, 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Well, I think it's been a week or 10 days since John and Lauren sat down to record their latest version of Kicking Back with the Cooks. They got into a lot of talk about concerts, Zach Bryan, and some other things we thought was pretty funny. Let's listen in.
You mentioned going to the Pizza Ranch sale was like going to a rock concert. Well, you recently went to a concert. I have to ask, Pearl Jam or Zach Bryan?
Okay, Eddie, don't take it personally, but Zach Bryan.
What?
Yeah, because let me tell you, first of all, we had our individual meetings today. So one of the questions I asked each player was, what's the highlight of the spring? Several of them said Zach Bryan. They had never heard him before. They didn't know any of his songs. And several of them said that's all they play now is Zach Bryan, that he was incredible. And the reason I think...
He has so many good songs.
What's that?
He has so many good songs.
Yeah. The
You
reason...
listen to him for hours.
Yeah. The reason I think he has such a great show is the way he sets up his stage. He's always moving around and his band members move around. And then, of course, the end, how he ends it with the song Revival, introduces his band members and tells them to prove it. It's awesome. And I just wish, okay, I'm going to say this right now. If the people that they had Matt Rule go up there, then the next night they had Dylan go up there, great, it's football. If they would have had in CHI sold out, if they would have had the volleyball team come up there and with me, we would have blown the roof off that place. So I'm bummed that we didn't get that done. We were inquiring, but I probably should have pushed harder. And but we had a great setup, great seats, and we had a blast.
Here's what you should have done. You should have talked to his girlfriend, Brianna. I think it's Brianna Chicken Fry, Brianna Cut. She does a bunch with Barstool Sports, not Barstool Sports, Barstool. She has a bunch of podcasts. Anyways, Bree's dating Zach. She is a big fan of women's sports, especially Caitlin Clark, Iowa women's basketball, who's now in the WNBA. But you should have reached out to her, and I bet she could have pulled some strings.
I asked one of the players to DM her or whatever they do. So we tried, and we tried somebody else, and we never heard back. So it was pretty late notice, so they probably already had it. You know, the girls were all today saying that Dylan didn't even know the words to the song Revival. Okay.
He didn't.
Yeah, so they missed an opportunity to have Nebraska volleyball. Remember, we sold out Memorial Stadium. We would have blown the roof off that place because Zach Bryan played the night before the stadium match, and they all wanted to go, but they couldn't because of the interviews. And so you and I were the only ones that could go to that match, or the concert when he played in Pinnacle Bank Arena the night before the stadium match. So they were bummed. I think actually some of them had tickets and had to get rid of them because of that. And so anyway, missed opportunity. So if he comes back again, we're going to make sure volleyball's out there on the stage with him, because he would have a lot of fun with our players out there because they get into it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really upset, how upset were you that Matt Rule got to go up there instead of you?
The team, we're all in a suite, and he went out there. They all look at me like, "Are you kidding me?" Again, I love Coach Rule. He's awesome, but they're looking at me like, "Okay, remember, we made a video that's unbelievable from the song Revival, where I pretended to be Zach Bryan and talked about each one of our players, where they're from, just like he does, and they're here to prove it." It's an awesome video. We actually first made a song, and then Tyler, our video guy, made it into a video. And we showed it to him before we went up there. It's awesome. And so I'll just leave it at that.
You also play, I bet Coach Rule isn't playing Zach Bryan during their practices, but during your practices, it's just on loop, all of his songs.
Oh, yeah. The team loves
every day.
It. Yeah. And again, Revival. So when I go and speak, 5 minutes, I'm driving up to Omaha or wherever I'm going to go speak, I crank on Revival, man. It just gets me in the zone for speaking, because it's just I don't know, it's just a great melody or whatever you call it. And then his energy for that song and kind of pumping up his band members is just really cool.
Maybe whenever you decide to leave the volleyball world and retire, maybe you go be Zach Bryan's tour manager.
That would be awesome.
So part of the reason why you did the Zach Bryan concert was to build culture, team bonding. There's been a couple other things that the girls have done this spring in order to build upon your culture and team bonding and really set a foundation for the fall. Can you talk about the chain link, the necklace, and the different links that they have, that they hand out? Talk about that with us, and then also talk about their project of calling past players and chatting culture and environment with past, I guess, legacy players, captains, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, well, we've had some chinks, some little things that have kind of eroded our culture a little bit, and it wasn't just one player. It was several things over the last, starting in January, that I just noticed. And again, typically when you have a great season, there's going to be some fallout from that, and some people maybe, as the Cowboys say, maybe they don't handle prosperity so well. So you gotta get them squared away. So we just felt like we needed to really take a hard look at our culture and try to rebuild it. And I speak all over the place, and everybody asks me about our culture. How do you make it so strong? How do you build it? The hardest thing is to keep a great culture. So we decided we're going to make a big emphasis on it, and we created I asked Brian Committa, find me the biggest chain you can find over there in the weight room. And he found these two big chains, and we hung them from where you walk into Dannen underneath that little, it's not a scoreboard, it's like a advertising board where they walk into Dannen, where we come out for our tunnel walk, and we hung them right there, these two big chains, and we said, okay, these are our chains, guys. We left them in Tampa. We forgot them. So we're bringing them here, we're bringing them out, and we're going to start rebuilding these chains, because by the time we get to the fall, we've got to be as strong as these chains. So it's a great visual for them. And then what we did to help build it was, we bought these little chain links so they could give to each other. So if you did something to help build our culture or make it better, then a player would hand that. The coaches would hand it to them, and they get to start building their own chains. So we'll slowly build it, and we'll continue to build it over the summer. And the other thing we did is we picked out 3 players, legacy players we called them, and by position. So you were one of the legacy players for the setters. And Lauren, I'm not going to even over-exaggerate this. They presented their legacy reports when we were in Kearney the night before we played, because that was really the only time we had as a team where we could just not have any distractions. As you know, we had ESPN with us out for days. So I'm like, we're shutting the doors. We're going to give the legacy reports. I was blown away by how good a job they did. They had PowerPoints, they had history, they had bullet points, like what you talked about, what, I can't remember who was the other setters. It was you.
Nicklin and Val.
Nicklin and Val, yeah. And they're asking, well, when did Val play? And Lindsay Krause knew, Miss Answer Woman, because nobody knows who Val is. And I told a great story about Val when I first met her, how I was assistant here. She walks in the office, and she goes, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Coach Cook, I'm the new assistant. And she goes, well, I'm Val Novak from Downers Grove, Chicago, I think is where she's from. And she looks up at the All-American plaques were in the office. She goes, see up there? My name's going to be up there. Just watch. And that was my first introduction to Val Novak. And she was a great player. So she was a legacy player from the past, you, and then Nicklin, who was close to their age, and they all know Nicklin. So they had your PowerPoints, Val's, Nicklin's, and it was just, everybody did an unbelievable job. I was literally almost fell out of my chair. I couldn't believe it.
That's really cool. And you said each position did it. So they got the setters, outsides, middles, bros,
and liberos.
That's really cool. Do you think they got a lot out of it?
I do. The details of the reports were, it was off the charts. I mean, we could do a coach's clinic on building culture. I mean, we could go on the road and present that to companies. Here's how you build a culture, and here are the keys and what makes a great culture. And they broke it down. I mean, they said, here are the questions that we ask. Because remember, we did not give them questions. We left it up to them to figure it out with you, for example. You find out about what's important about culture. You come up with the questions to ask. So they would list the questions. We asked this question. There were some really creative questions. And it's one of the cool things about this generation in school now. I mean, they know PowerPoints. They just know how to present things. I mean, I would have never been able to do that in college. It blew me away.
You were in Kearney for the spring match. We're recording Monday. You played Saturday. Tell me, I asked you this post game, but I want to ask you again. Give me a spring match recap, and even just overall spring training recap, and what you like, or what you did like, what you didn't like, things that you feel like you're confident in, and then maybe some areas where there's room for improvement.
Well, there's always room for improvement, but we played at a really high level. We trained at a really high level. And just for an example to kind of, prove that, some of the players, when I asked them today, what was the highlight of the spring for you? Some of them said the last week of training, because we went to war, I'll call it. It was a lot of 6-on-6. We just competed. And, for example, Kennedy Orr loved it because she won the most games. So for her, that it was super high level. And even Jordan's calling me from California, watching on video, saying, Coach, this is really high level stuff. They're doing some really good stuff here. So everything we worked on, we saw improvement, and we got to continue to get better. But we in spring, sometimes you just get through spring. Sometimes you get better in spring. Sometimes you just hope they don't get burned out. These guys really went after it and improved.
It's fascinating to hear, again, you come off the season where you make it to the championship match and you've got all these players coming back, but how much work they've put in, and almost they've even said it, basically rebuild the culture. Yes, they have it in place, but now it's a different time and a different year, and they have to do things a little bit differently now with this team. They're not so young anymore, and so how do they go about building that and making sure they're doing what they need to do to bring that team back together? Because, I mean, look, the best teams win the championship, or the best chemistry teams, I think, are the ones that usually make the special runs to the championship. And I know we've heard that a lot, but just those teams that are the closest usually are the ones that do something special.
And their chemistry is going to change because you got the two transfers that weren't there during the spring. The two incoming freshmen were Olivia and Skylar. So they're part of it, but you're going to add Taylor Landfair, and I'm drawing a blank on the
Layla Blackwell.
Layla Blackwell. So that's going to tweak it again with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got in the summer where you're maybe doing some work on your own, you've got some players that are going to play for Team USA. So you're still going to have players going in and out of the gym. So that's why the spring was so important to address a lot of that, what they could. When I had Kelly Hunter on the Dig last week, she had talked about those presentations, and she said how neat it was to see the different approaches because they did it by position groups. And she said, of course, the setters were the perfectionists.
Yeah.
So Kennedy and Bergen were, they had the PowerPoint. And then, Rebecca and Andy, the middles, they were funny. They were cutting up, which I know that's hard to believe with Rebecca.
Yeah.
But just how different they were, but how much effort that they did put into it. And it just goes to show you, again, how much it's important, and we've heard Coach Roll say the same thing, but it's important to remember those that were here in the past and those learn from those that were a part and were the leaders of those special teams that did get it done in the final match of the season.
Yep. Art in Los Angeles says, when's the schedule coming out? I know the Big Ten part of it is usually mid to late June. I believe they've got the non-conference done, but I don't know if they've officially put it out. But should be soon, Art. But I would not look for it until at least the middle part of June. So that full podcast out. You can go get it on our podcast page or wherever you access your Husker podcast. As always, it's a really, really good listen. Folks, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. We're back to hear part of Jessica's conversation from last night with Husker AD Troy Dannen. We'll do that next.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975, and now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Last night, Jessica had a terrific interview with Husker AD Troy Dannen. He's been out in Los Angeles this week. The Big Ten had meetings out there. Presidents, ADs, football coaches, men's and women's basketball coaches attended. They went over a wide variety of topics, but a couple topics that they hit on certainly draws close to home. One's the stadium project that he addressed last week, and then the announcement of the Illinois game coming up on Friday. We thought we'd play back some of those answers from last night's interview.
Well, I wanted to start with a stadium update because you did release some news last week about what the plan is. I know that's been one of the biggest questions you've gotten since you've arrived here in Lincoln. So can you maybe just take us through that decision, the focus on the East and West stadiums, and what you want fans to know about the progress moving forward?
Yeah, I think, first things first, that the scope of the project and the need for the projects, it's pretty easy to understand everything that had been worked on and developed and how we got to that point. But, to get anything done, it really follow the money. How do we build a funding model to support it, particularly with the changes in college athletics that potentially lie ahead with our own internal funding model. So the East and West Stadium, because of the price point for tickets, the seat licenses, the potential amenities we can add. In most stadiums, and we've seen Penn State also announce a project this week, the East and the West sidelines are normally where you have the ability, I've been terming it, the ability to monetize an investment. And by that I mean if it costs, $1 million and you have to borrow $1 million to do it, that the proceeds of the improvement and the new seats may pay off your debt service and provide you a little extra money to support maybe the higher cost of operations. That's what I mean by monetize. And so the East and West has the ability to do that. And so moving that forward maybe as the focus, not ignoring the needs of the South End by any means, but the South End is going to require a much higher level of philanthropy because the ability to monetize through just its operations and seat prices, seat licenses, things like that, doesn't exist the same way it exists on the East and West. So while we change maybe the focus, it really also comes along with a change in timelines because to theoretically do a reseat and if we put chairbacks on the East and West, we have to reseat because we would take seats away. And if we want to reseat, we have to put chairbacks in. So to do that, one, we couldn't do anything until after this upcoming season. But when you reseat, you really owe your fans at least a year to adapt, decide if they want to be a part of it, decide if they want to partake in the cost of the donation behind the seats. So really that pushes you back past the 25 season. So we've really got a couple of years in front of us to, one, finalize those plans and then give everybody good notice and let people decide whether they want to be a part of it or whether they don't. So it's going to take a little bit more time along the way. You know, we're going to get some Wi-Fi improved. We're going to get some concessions done, and you know, hopefully find some other bells and whistles that we can add. Maybe because the Shore Center on the south end is going to be vacated as a part of this project that was already underway. You know, how can we use that space maybe to provide some amenities in the meantime until the South Stadium project is finished at some point in the future. So still a good project, still a viable project, but maybe change in focus and change in timeline a little bit.
Okay, well, we got some big news coming out, more and more football schedule times and dates and all of that, and TV channels is coming out, and we had the big news a couple weeks ago with the Colorado primetime on NBC, and today the announcement coming out that we're going to have a Friday night game here in Lincoln, and a big opportunity is it's going to be probably on, again, a nationwide audience going to be tuning into this. How about that? What are your thoughts on that, and playing Illinois at home here on a Friday night in September?
Well, a nationwide Fox audience for that game is going to be great. You know, you want to be on national TV, and you want those games where if you're the standalone that everybody's watching, everybody's focused on you. I know Friday night games cause a lot of heartburn for a lot of reasons. We think of high school football, just the logistics of a Friday night game, you know, in the middle of a college campus. So there are going to be a lot of challenges along with it, but I think, you know, the ability to put the Huskers in that stadium and our crowd in the national limelight for a night game, you know, is one well worth the challenges that lie ahead with it. And the other thing is, you know, we can be upset about it all we want, but we're cashing a pretty large check from our television contract every year, and this is the price of that check. And so in order to fund what we want to do, you end up with a Friday night game here and there. So different, and hopefully it's not something, as I told Matt, you know, I think you know, Friday night games are something that neither one of us hope are in our future. Really, to protect high school football as much as anything, and really but we'll see what the logistics are and how we're able to manage it. You know, I think, believe it or not, the volleyball event last year might have been a good dry run for us, and what it would look like, you know, during the week, and how the impact would be. So, challenge for our operations crew, but it's going to be a great environment. You know, and I just, you know, I love the fact that people around the country are just going to be focused on us that night and watching a game in Memorial Stadium.
How excited are you for that September 7th primetime kickoff with Colorado on NBC?
Well, it's funny because even out here, that's been a little bit of the talk. And you know, Matt told me one thing when I got here. He said you will find that the night game atmosphere here is second to none. And so, you know, this is a chance to do it a couple of times, let alone against a rival. And from the day I got here, I was getting emails from our fans, just do whatever you can do to get that to be a night game. Do whatever you can do to get that to be a night game. So I know it's what our fans want. And trust, I had no influence in getting that done, but I'm sure I'm glad it happened. You know, there's just a lot to be excited for with what lies ahead. And, you know, and I think, you know, there'll be some news coming in the next couple of days, maybe about our game time for Thanksgiving weekend, and maybe get that opening game time out next week. And you know, just all these things, these announcements just keep, you know, staggering out one at a time over a matter of a few days. And all it does is really, I think, stirs everybody's excitement for what lies ahead.
A couple big takeaways for me, but just, you know, what he had mentioned about the Friday night that he had the conversation with Coach Rule, and while they don't love playing on a Friday night and competing with high school football, hey, it's that there's a big check coming in thanks to that deal that they just signed, and so you kind of have to do what they ask. And so, and I still think it's a cool opportunity to have 2 home night games that are going to be in the first 4 weeks of the season on a nationally televised audience with a lot of eyeballs on you. That's always a good thing for the program.
No doubt. He also alluded to that in the coming days, weeks, we'll probably find out some of those other start times, maybe even the Black Friday game with Iowa. And I got to believe the other non-conference start times are imminent.
We do not know which network the Iowa game's on yet, do we?
Don't believe so.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a CBS game.
Really? Well, it was last year.
CBS?
Yep.
We were on CBS?
We were. Yep.
Oh, yeah, we were. Okay,
Yep.
I remember that now.
CBS did the game here at Memorial Stadium. Great conversation. Good job with Troy, and always good to hear from him. And he's going to be fun for us to deal with, I think.
Yes, I think so. And, you know, he's been so willing, and he's still trying to figure it out, a lot of things. And he's still, because that was one of the first things he said is, I'm going to do some observing before I really start making some calls. And so he's still trying to feel it out and, you know, make the best decisions that he can with the limited knowledge that he has. But I think he's really doing his due diligence to make sure that he is making the best decisions, and not just for football, but you heard, how many times have we now heard him mention the track facilities and getting that in place and being able to make sure they have fans that can go and facilities that could host big time things. He hired Peter Cobelt, who was absolutely deserving of that, taking that interim tag off. So I think I've been really impressed with the decisions that he's made up until this point.
Very good. Hey, Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. All right, phone lines, text lines open for you, 402-413-2400. More of the show coming up.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trailtainment 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. We've been trying to track some of the track and field results from down in Fayetteville. I think they're about ready to wrap day number, is this day 2? Yeah, day number 2. I know 3 men have qualified for the NCAAs, and I think we're up to 6 women have now qualified for the NCAA meet in a couple weeks.
And Axelina Johansson, the defending champion, qualified today. And that's it. When we talked about to Justin St. Clair the other day about this meet, this is not so much of, hey, go throw your best. It's more so qualify.
Get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just want to be in that qualifying mark. So I think she ended up finishing 4th today, but you want to leave some in the tank for when you go compete for the big title. And so this is more so, this week is more so getting qualified, being in that top 12 of this meet to be able to go compete for the championships.
Took 53 athletes, and there's more that will. I mean, high jump has not happened. Darius Luff is qualified for the finals. The finals have not been run, so there's quite a few more, I think, still to come.
Javelin, long jump.
Dash made it on the men's side.
Oh, I don't.
That was yesterday.
When did they say? Oh, that was, yeah, that was yesterday. So the shot put, right, hadn't happened.
Has not.
Yeah.
No.
And
So-
the hammer throw, I think we got a good hammer thrower.
We do. Yeah. So there's still some.
Yeah.
There's still some to go. The men have another day tomorrow. Then the women will wrap it up on Saturday down in Fayetteville. So keep tracking that. That's some pretty good stuff for Nebraska down there. Husker baseball will play Ohio State tomorrow, 2 o'clock, 1:30 pregame coverage. Will Bolt did announce after the game last night that Mason McConaughey will start for Nebraska. Another elimination game. The tournament is down to 6 teams left. Iowa dismissed earlier today on a wild call in the bottom of the 10th inning. A little bit of controversy at the end of that game that cost Coach Heller. He got ejected from the game for Iowa. But Huskers, Buckeyes, round 2, 2 o'clock tomorrow, 1:30 for pregame coverage. Weather's supposed to be pretty good tomorrow, so hopefully there's a big crowd up there in Omaha. Big plans for your weekend?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
Summer's
know.
here.
I'm just hoping for no rain. I did look it up, by the way. So tomorrow, Friday, you still have men's discus, high jump. You have the triple jump. You have the 110-meter hurdles. And then, so I think there's still lots of opportunities tomorrow. And then the women, so there's still lots of opportunities ahead. So we're just scratching the surface of the athletes that will be announcing going to the championships.
2 days in and a lot of finals that have not happened. So that's why it's still a little bit of ways away. All right, need to step aside, get our last break in, and boy, it is time. It is time for all of you to hear a new and improved Cole Hartman with his joke of the week.
Let's go.
That's next.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Elevate your drive with Woodhouse Buick. Plus, with our current offers going on now, you'll save even more. Receive up to $5,750 off MSRP plus 0.9% APR for 36 months on the 2023 Buick Envision Avenir all-wheel drive. With approved credit, must finance with GM Financial. Must currently own or lease a 2010 or newer non-GM vehicle to qualify. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires June 3rd, 2024. See dealer for details.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Discover the future of luxury with the Cadillac Lyriq at Woodhouse Cadillac. Experience the thrill of instant torque and seamless acceleration, all with zero emissions. Lease a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq Tech all-wheel drive for $399 a month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year. Shop all our Lyriq inventory in-store or online today at Woodhouse Cadillac, where innovation meets elegance. With approved credit, $3,000 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 6/3/2024. See dealer for additional details.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Have we hit the 1-year anniversary of the joke of the week?
I feel like it started in July. Or no, it might have started when I was on vacation. I came back and y'all were talking, and then it started, and then it took off like wildfire.
Was in the summer, I think, late summer.
Yes, because then once we got to football season, you were fall camp. You were trying to get out of it.
That's right.
So I think it was like 4 weeks in July, and then, but we're quickly approaching it.
I knew it was coming up, and you've been trying to help him out here. You've been shopping.
So, he's been complaining. He's running out of material, all that good stuff. So I gave him, he's not going to ever have an excuse.
I've got ghostwriters now with a book, a nice joke book. The joke tonight, if I may. 2 farmers are standing in a field discussing their work. I'm having issues with my flock of cows, the first farmer admits. Herd of cows, the second farmer corrects his friend. Of course I've heard of cows, the first farmer barks. I've got a whole flock of them.
I'm kind of
nice play on words.
Yeah.
Playing to an agricultural state will do you well.
Sure.
That will lay pretty good. I'll go 7.5 on that one.
That's a good point.
I might need to read it because I'm kind of confused.
That
herd
heard.
Have you heard?
Oh,
heard of
I
cows.
see.
Yeah. Heard of
Okay,
cows.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course he's heard of them.
All right. I like it.
It's pretty good. There were some others that.
Okay. You're going to highlight
Camden only shrugged a
dog
bit.
ear the page. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Crypto gives you a 9.1 for delivery, 9.4 for originality, and a perfect 10 because you are cool.
I don't know how I can get a 9.4 for originality when I took it from
the
a
book.
published book.
Yeah.
His nickname is
But
also
thank you,
stuck too. The Colio nickname has also taken off.
A couple of texts have come in on the text line. You've got Dennis with a 6.5, Steve with an 8. Art gives you a solid 7, but he wants more bee jokes.
Sure he
Art's
does.
all about your bees.
Yep.
Ethan gives you a 7. Dryce 8. Justin gives Colio a 7.38.
Pretty solid.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. You've basically been averaging above a 6 for like 3 months now.
It's not bad.
No, that's really solid.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Especially there's one week you got like 4s and 3s.
Yes.
So.
All right, you've been working hard on our Fridays because this is where it's summer months where we do best ofs on Friday.
Sure have.
So we've got our first one coming everybody's way tomorrow night.
Got our first one tomorrow night, if I'm trying to think. So we're going to do some spring game recap, rerun some of the interviews Jessica had with some players. Who comes to mind? Jalen Lloyd.
Will
Alex
Shields, did I hear
Bullock.
you say that?
Will Shields.
Yeah.
We'll have him on. And in the other hour, we'll do some volleyball recap with The Dig with Kelly Hunter. Just fun stuff.
Good.
Tune in.
And we're going to tweak it this year a little bit. We're going to kind of mix it with interviews like in the past, but also some games that we've had in the last year
That's
or so.
right. Some of what we've talked about is some of our best games in all sports that we broadcast, and putting those back on, editing them down to the Sports Nightly window, and letting you guys enjoy all of our great talent lose their minds.
So Cole has now help. You know, he's had the Army of interns all year, a couple of them sticking around. They've got things to do. So that's why we're able to do this. But that one night we had put that out there for the listeners. We had so many texts, a lot of people chiming in. So how long is your list of football games? Like 10?
10 or 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to get that done. And then some basketball games and
Sure.
no-hitter,
It'll be
right?
fun. Oh, that's got to be one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
we didn't even have that when we were discussing it. That hadn't
it hadn't happened yet.
Had it.
So he's going to have a mixture of things this year.
So that'd be good. So not just best ofs will not just be flat interview shows. We'll play some games.
Sure.
That'd be fun.
Greg, what do you remember as your favorite call that you called over the last?
Oh, it's Alex Henry's field goal against Colorado.
We had several people suggest that.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I was there in the stands
Were
for
you?
that one. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people say that was about as loud as they've heard the stadium when that thing went through the uprights. So
the Hail Mary catch, Northwestern.
yeah,
that was
good too.
About as loud
Ron
as I
Kellogg
heard
to
it.
Jordan Westerkamp.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, great. Well done. More scores coming in. Pretty solid. I think it was good. The book will help moving forward. All right, so best of show tomorrow, best of show on Memorial Day. So we're not back with you till Tuesday, and hopefully we're talking about a Husker baseball regional assignment. Hopefully we're talking about some of that stuff, so should be fun. And I am looking forward to a little sunshine and the holiday weekend.
Yes, and some baseball, maybe lots of baseball.
There you go. A little barbecue action going on out there for everybody as well. Folks, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. Thanks to Cole, to Camden, to everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe on Memorial Day. We'll be back with you next Tuesday night. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's Jeep season at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Right now, lease the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited for just $169 a month for 27 months and 10,000 miles per year. Your trusted Jeep dealer since 1991. This is Woodhouse. With approved credit, tax title license extra. For well-qualified returning lease customers, $1,999 plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Retired courtesy vehicle stock number BC240453. Offer expires 5/31/24. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our